Welcome to the Gamer Braves Quest Board, where we check out what's happened in the past half of the month. I'm your host Jeremy, and let's start with the biggest news this month with the changes to the Xbox Game Pass. Microsoft has jacked up the price once again. Yay! And they're replacing Game Pass Console with a new one called Game Pass Standard. So I guess they're making us get the new one. But if you still have the console tier, you can still continue to use it. The new standard tier has everything the core tier has to offer, with the addition of online console multiplayer, but the lack of day one games? What? And I guess that's what the ultimate tier is for, as it includes all the benefits of every tier combined. Except now, the price of all tiers have increased. Ultimate goes up to $19.99 USD per month, Core goes up to $9.99 USD per month, or $74.99 USD per year. PC Game Pass goes up to $8.99 USD per month, and the new Game Pass Standard is priced at $14.99 USD per month. These changes took place on 10th of July if you're a new subscriber, but if you're already subscribed to any tier, then these changes only apply on 12th September. Many gamers across the world are complaining about rising prices for what's basically the same benefits, though we still can't deny the value of the Game Pass. This seems to be the trend for subscription-based models, where you give an offer that's too good to be true at the start, then raise the price once you have a big enough user base, and the loyal customers have no choice but to pay the extra price to continue using the service they love. If this trend continues, will this be the slow decline of the Xbox Game Pass, or even subscription models as a whole? Let us know what you think. Moving on to the biggest talk of the gacha gaming scene this month. In only 5 days, Zenless Zone Zero surpassed 50 million downloads and generated $24 million already. Holy shit. Not only that, this data is only for the App Store and Google Play sales, excluding PC and PS5, so their numbers are probably way higher. The developers of ZZZ are content with these sales though, and they are still hungry for more. Speaking of which, the producer of ZZZ mentions that he's a fan of Nintendo and wants to make the game available on as many platforms as possible. With the Nintendo Switch 2 on the way, there may be a potential ZZZ release on it when it comes out in 2025. Moving on to the bigger talk of the gacha gaming scene this month, Genshin Impact is experiencing a boycott from fans regarding the newest region's character designs, and that one's not even out yet. Fans are concerned about the whitewashing and cultural appropriation HoYo has done, despite characters being heavily inspired by real-life cultures from Latin America and Africa, with most of their characters having very fair skin. I'm getting a bit of deja vu to the Sumeru situation. Many content creators and voice actors of the game have spoken up regarding the situation. Fans have even altered the designs themselves, which was received pretty well, and many players are also boycotting the game by avoiding spending money or quitting the game altogether. Now, there's a petition for change being signed by 65,000 people already, suggesting HoYoverse engage with cultural consultants, revise content to ensure accurate representation, and commit to create diverse and inclusive characters. Keep in mind though, 65,000 players is just a tiny fraction of Genshin's massive player base, so it is unknown if the petition will have any impact at all. The few times HoYoverse responded was when Zhongli needed a buff, and this was likely due to Zhongli representing Liyue, which is a region inspired by their own country, China. A second time was when the Chinese player base, and the world, was very disappointed by the first anniversary that happened to line up with Chinese New Year. Though seeing how nothing was done when Sumeru had the same controversy, we can only wait and see what HoYoverse does this time. Moving on to the not so biggest talk of the gacha gaming scene this month, Snowbreak Containment Zone has just been having it rough. Last year, the English voice actors expressed their concerns of the game venturing into fanservice, and then the devs cut out the English dub altogether. This debate has yet to end though, as the game is diving even deeper into the fanservice route, but a Japanese staff member who goes by P-chan has responded to fans' criticisms about fanservice. First of all, fans are concerned that the content in the game is catering too much towards the male gaze, and P-chan explains that they are certain of who their target audience is and will continue to serve this audience. It is very likely that Snowbreak Containment Zone will continue on what they're doing right now. Alright, enough about gacha games. Let's go back to the Nintendo Switch 2 that is planning to release in 2025. Nintendo is planning to carry out scalping countermeasures to counter the scalpers, as stated by Shuntaro Furukawa at Nintendo's shareholder meeting. Scalpers are people who buy a newly launched product in bulk to profit off scarcity by being the only source of this product. And Nintendo is very much aware that this happened with the original Switch. They're planning to increase the production of the Switch 2 to keep up with demand despite the scalpers, especially since the semiconductor shortage is finally over. Well, I guess that's one way to beat them. Just make more of it. On the topic of Nintendo, they released a cryptic 15-second video of a masked man smiling, titled Emio. Fans are speculating that this is a horror game, if you couldn't tell, but at the start of the video, there was an age restriction in place. Perhaps Nintendo could be diving into more mature rated games with Emio, and there may be a good chance that Emio's release will coincide with the release of the Switch 2. So as of writing this, Nintendo literally dropped the news on Emio, the Smiling Man, as part of the Famicom Detective series. For those unfamiliar with the series, the last new entry was over 35 years ago. And there were a few Famicom Detective Club releases over the years, but those were technically just remakes of the original, and unlike the remakes, Emio is confirmed to be a new story and rated M. It will be launched on the Nintendo Switch on August 29th for $49.99 USD with pre-orders available right now. Let's see, even more Nintendo. In the same shareholder meeting, Shuntaro Furukawa addressed concerns regarding the use of generative AI for the games. As he says, AI-like technology has been used for a long time already and is closely related to game development. What's new is generative AI, which creates something from scratch with very little effort. He recognizes the potential creative uses of generative AI, though there may be issues with intellectual property rights, as the data for training the AI model could have taken from copyrighted material. President Furukawa is confident in experience with game development though, and will continue to create games that are unique to Nintendo and cannot be created by technology alone. Alright, what's next? Even more AI. If you remember, Palworld got accused by players for using AI to generate its in-game models. The accusations stemmed from the fact that the CEO, Takuro Mizobe, talks and involves himself in a lot of AI-related stuff. He even made a post regarding AI-generated Pokemon all the way back in 2021, which was before Palworld released. And naturally, players put 2 and 2 together and the assumption of Palworld using AI was born. Ever since that discourse, there has been zero evidence that proves the models were generated with AI, yet it seems that the CEO is still being bombarded with AI accusations. He made a statement on Twitter rejecting the use of AI and mentions how the artists, who worked on the game, have done thousands of sketches of Palworld. Is it time to stop the AI accusations, or is it time to move on from this topic? Because there's lots of offline events happening in Southeast Asia this year, and we've got some info to show you. By far the biggest event would be Gamescom Asia, where a bunch of stage guests and important industry figures will be present for booths, public programs, exhibitions, and conferences on 17th October to 20th October in Suntec, Singapore. There are more than 80 important guests from all across the world attending this event, and we have some confirmed names here. Capcom specifically has a bunch of events happening, such as a hands-on demo on upcoming games, which could potentially be Monster Hunter Wilds. There's also the Capcom Pro Tour 2024 Super Premier Singapore, also known as the Street Fighter 6 tournament. 17th to 18th October is mostly open for industry conferences and news regarding future releases, while 18th to 20th October opens up the entertainment area for the public to test games. Besides Gamescom Asia, the Genshin Concert is currently on World Tour, and it's happening to stop by Malaysia for its second year in a row. If you didn't know, the Genshin Concert is a series of orchestral concerts, playing fan-favorite songs from Genshin Impact. For Malaysia, it will be performed by the Malaysian Philharmonic Orchestra, which takes place on 19th October 2024 at the Cavalry Convention Center in Bukit Jalil. Tickets will be on sale on 19th July 12 PM to 11th August at early bird prices, while purchases made 12 August onwards will be at regular prices. Not to mention that every ticket buyer will receive the collector's set, which includes some Genshin Concert themed merch. Besides the Genshin Concert, we have even more HoYoverse related news, with HoYo FEST 2024 across Southeast Asia. HoYo FEST is a series of online and offline events, but the most interesting one is the offline event, happening in these places at these times right here. You can expect to see booths of Genshin, Star Rail, ZZZ, Honkai Impact, and other HoYoverse stuff as well. There will also be various activities to take part that grant you in-game and real-life rewards like merch. Also, keep an eye out on HoYo Lab for more info regarding stage events. I mean, who knows what info they'll release. And that's all for this half of the month. Be sure to subscribe to keep up with the news. And do you think we missed anything important? Let us know, and we may just cover it in the next episode of the Gamer Braves Quest Board.